Welcome to Next Level. Imagine this, you're out on a quiet ride, lost in your thoughts, only to be jolted by a broken rope, the closest thing you've got to meditation. Now, picture Borden returning to Heartland. After years apart, the joy of reunion mingles with unexpected emotions. Ty's deep bond with Amy hasn't faded, but he's realizing that time has changed everything. Amy's friendships with Caleb and Nathan have grown in ways he never anticipated, sparking a pang of jealousy he can't ignore. Will Ty's return rekindle old sparks, or has too much changed? Let's dive into the drama. This hook adds intrigue and sets up the emotional complexities for the episode, keeping your audience engaged right from the start. For Ty, this isn't just about jealousy. It's about recognizing the impact his absence had on his circle of family and friends. With Caleb and Nathan stepping into roles that Ty might have once filled himself, he is left to navigate a complex mix of emotions he hadn't expected. This episode dives deep into Ty's inner turmoil as he grapples with feelings that are entirely new to him. Ty has forever been serious areas of strength for a sure presence, not handily disrupted by others' connections or collaborations. Yet, as he watches Caleb and Nathan's closeness with Amy, he feels a developing disquiet that he can only with significant effort shake off. For Ty, it's not only a straightforward instance of desire. It's the unexpected acknowledgement that things probably won't be precisely as they were previously. As he grapples with these muddled sentiments, he starts to address where he really remains in Amy's life, and whether he can reconnect with her the manner in which he needs to. Ty's revisitation of Heartland was something Amy and the whole family had yearned for. In any case, after the underlying delight of his rebound blurs, Ty begins to feel the heaviness of all that he missed during his non-attendance. He's home, yet everything feels somewhat unique. His position in the family and in Amy's life has moved, regardless of whether he completely acknowledges it yet. Watching Amy with Caleb and Nathan, Ty starts to perceive how these two men have become apparatuses in her life, filling jobs he could have taken on the off chance that he'd been there. Caleb specifically has forever been near Amy, offering an expert and well-disposed relationship to her that Ty once acknowledged without the slightest hesitation. Yet, presently, Caleb's presence mixes something inside Ty, peaceful, waiting uncertainty about his own spot in the existences of those he cherishes most. Nathan, then again, is a somewhat new expansion to the circle, yet he has figured out how to fit right in. His steady fellowship with Amy is something Ty can't overlook. And keeping in mind that there's no obvious danger, he can't shake the sensation of being an outcast searching in. The bond Amy imparts to both Caleb and Nathan is clear based on time, trust, and shared encounters. These are things Ty was once a piece of yet passed up while he was away. Ty's consciousness of this avoids him feeling with regard to Step, as though he's been abandoned in a world that continued on without him. It's a hard reality to swallow, and it starts to burden him surprisingly. This developing distress doesn't sit discreetly behind the scenes. It begins to work on Ty's confidence. He has consistently had a good sense of reassurance in his relationship with Amy, confiding in the strength of their bond. Yet, presently, as he watches her interface with Caleb and Nathan, he begins to contemplate whether that bond is all around as solid as he accepted. It isn't so much that he questions Amy's affections for him, rather, the disrupting acknowledgement perhaps he's at this point not the only one she rests on. Caleb's agreeable nature and Nathan's resolute help act as tokens of the minutes Ty missed. And keeping in mind that these men have filled the hole in various ways, Ty can't disregard the aggravation of realizing that his non-appearance made that void in any case. As Ty invests more energy back at Heartland, he can't resist the urge to see major areas of strength for the Amy imparts to Caleb and Nathan. What stands apart to him more than anything is the way easily Caleb and Nathan fit into the day-to-day schedules of Amy's life. They know her timetable, her propensities, even her implicit contemplations, things Ty once instinctually comprehended. Each time he sees Caleb and Nathan imparting these little minutes to Amy, Ty feels an ache of something he's not exactly prepared to concede. It's an inclination that is both disrupting and surprising, making him question where he really remains with Amy and whether he can flawlessly take up where he left out. Whenever Ty first really begins to feel this anxiety is the point at which he sees Amy and Caleb cooperating on the farm. Caleb has forever been there for Amy, particularly during Ty's non-attendance, stepping in as a strong companion and accomplice. Watching both of them cooperate so normally, Ty starts to acknowledge exactly the amount Caleb has been essential for Amy's daily existence. Caleb appears to comprehend her in a manner Ty once did, and however he attempts to dismiss these sentiments, they wait, blending a feeling of uncertainty. It isn't so much that Ty questions Amy's dedication, yet perceiving how Caleb has flawlessly taken on a steady job in her life is a struggle for Ty to overlook. He thinks of himself as contemplating whether there are portions of Amy's life that Caleb sees better now, minutes Ty wasn't there for. Nathan, as well, has turned into a consistent presence in Amy's life. While his job might be unique, there's a peaceful profundity to their companionship that Ty can't disregard. Nathan has done right by being a solid companion, somebody Amy has come to trust. Ty sees that Nathan appears to comprehend things about Amy's ongoing life, that he personally is new to minutes, and recollections he wasn't there for. It's an awkward acknowledgement, one that Ty doesn't exactly have the foggiest idea how to process. As he watches Amy trust in Nathan, sharing giggling and simple discussion, Ty feels a feeling of partition, like he's unexpectedly an outcast in the existence he once knew so well. Ty's perceptions begin to add up, and as time passes, he feels the distance among him and Amy becoming more extensive. The minutes he missed birthday events, achievements, and regular battles are presently essential for Amy's past, saw by Caleb and Nathan. For Ty, it's an excruciating sign of the time he lost, and he can't resist the urge to feel like he's in some way off kilter. These calm perceptions make him keep thinking about whether he'll at any point really get up to speed, assuming he'll at any point recapture the closeness he once imparted to Amy. This thought weighs intensely on him, creating a shaded area over the delight of being home. Something beyond desire, these feelings originate from Ty's apprehension about losing the profound, significant association he's constantly had with Amy. As Ty keeps on noticing Amy's associations with Caleb and Nathan, he starts to completely get a handle on how profoundly these kinships have become woven into her life. With Caleb, Amy shares a long history that goes past companionship. They've worked one next to the other for a really long time, sharing innumerable encounters at the farm. Caleb has been her trustworthy accomplice on troublesome days, an individual who comprehends her in manners few others can. Their association is based on trust and dedication, and it's a bond Ty once had a real sense of safety in. Yet, presently, watching them cooperate with such commonality, Ty feels an implicit distance. He understands that Caleb has been there during minutes when he was unable to be, turning into a companion and friend Amy could depend on in manners that vibe unsettlingly recognizable. This mindfulness develops significantly further as Ty sees how Caleb's presence draws out a side of Amy he hasn't found in some opportunity. Caleb knows the rhythms of Amy's life and the manner in which they giggle together, completing each other's contemplations. Just features the time they've spent together. Ty starts to contemplate whether, during his non-appearance, Caleb has stepped in as a companion as well as a fundamental emotionally supportive network for Amy. It's a difficult acknowledgement, not on the grounds that he questions Amy's reliability, but since he understands that another person has been there in times when she wanted help the most. In those minutes, Ty feels an ache of disappointment and a feeling of botched and open door, realizing that he can't change the past, and that Caleb's job in Amy's life is presently evidently secure. Then, at that point, there's Nathan, whose association with Amy is unique, however similarly huge. While Nathan might not have the very history with Amy that Caleb does, he has won over be a solid companion, somebody Amy can rely upon. Consistent companion and comrade, Amy confides in him, and Ty can see that Nathan has become a dependable presence in her life. How Nathan might interpret Amy comes according to a new point of view, one Ty isn't sure he shares. Watching them communicate, Ty sees the simple, agreeable nature of their companionship. There's a power in their bond that, while not quite the same as her relationship with Caleb, holds its own importance in Amy's life. As Ty observes their shared moments of laughter and heartfelt conversations, he begins to realize that Nathan has filled a void that he, Ty, couldn't be there for. Ty never imagined feeling threatened by a friendship like Amy's with Nathan, but there's a quiet sense of displacement that starts to surface, as though he's missed not only the big moments, but also the small, seemingly insignificant ones. The times when Amy needed someone to lean on, someone who could offer her comfort and understanding. Nathan's friendship with Amy makes Ty recognize just how much he's missed, not only as her partner, but also as her friend. As he grapples with this, he begins to wonder if he'll ever regain the closeness they once shared. For Ty, Amy's connection with Caleb and Nathan has become a symbol of all that's changed. Each friendship represents a part of Amy's life that Ty was absent for, and he can't help but feel a sense of loss. As Ty continues to struggle with his emotions, the depth of his jealousy begins to show. He realizes that it's not just Caleb and Nathan he's battling, it's the reflection of the time and moments he missed while he was away. Ty has always prided himself on being a constant, dependable partner for Amy, but now he feels vulnerable in a way he never expected. These sentiments make him question his place in Amy's life, as well as his job inside his family, and even at Heartland itself. Ty's conflict under the surface transforms into a fight between his adoration for Amy and his feeling of dread toward losing the association that has consistently characterized their relationship. Ty attempts to excuse his sentiments, letting himself know that Caleb and Nathan have just filled in the holes during his non-attendance, that they're simply companions supporting Amy in manners he proved unable. However, the instability remains, creating a shaded area over his viewpoints. He ends up replaying recollections of their common past, contemplating whether those bonds can at any point completely be re-established. He begins to expect that his non-appearance has left an unfillable void, one that Caleb and Nathan currently involve. Interestingly, Ty feels that his place alongside Amy probably won't be pretty much as secure as he once accepted. This thought perplexes him, making it hard for him to zero in on anything more. The close-to-home load of these considerations starts to influence Ty's day-to-day routine. He winds up being short with everyone around him, battling to conceal his disappointment. Ordinarily persistent and quiet, Ty currently feels overpowered by a combination of desire and lament feelings he's not used to defying. This envy isn't about doubt or question. It's about his own uncertainties. His trepidation that perhaps he can never genuinely recover the spot he once held in Amy's life. These feelings draw out a side of him he doesn't perceive, a piece of himself he's awkward with. Ty starts to stress that these uncertainties could hurt his relationship with Amy, as well as his companionships with Caleb and Nathan, individuals who have turned into a significant piece of the Heartland family. In calm minutes, Ty's contemplations meander to all the what uncertainties he considers what might have been unique in the event that he wasn't away, assuming he'd been there during the difficult times Amy confronted. These considerations weigh vigorously on him, making a feeling of disappointment that just extends his contention. Ty's heart throbs with the acknowledgement that he can't fix the past, that he can't return and change things. Furthermore, notwithstanding this, He thinks of himself as contemplating whether he has the solidarity to reconstruct what he once had with Amy, or on the other hand, on the off chance that he'll continuously feel like a pariah in his own life. As Ty's unseen conflict escalates, he turns out to be increasingly more mindful that he wants to manage his feelings before they consume him. As his desire and instabilities develop, the pressure between him, Caleb, and Nathan at last arrives at a limit. Ty has been keeping down his feelings, attempting to hush up about his questions. Yet, as the days go by, it becomes more enthusiastically for him to conceal how he feels. He's baffled, getting a handle on left, and unfit to shake the inclination that his place in Amy's life isn't quite as secure as he once suspected. Everything reaches a critical stage when Ty sees Caleb and Amy working intently together, sharing a snapshot of giggling and commonality that Ty feels ought to have been his. Right now, Ty's dissatisfaction outwits him, and he chooses to defy Caleb. His words come out more extreme than he expected as his feelings at long last forward leap. Ty blames Caleb for exceeding limits, of being excessively near Amy, and questions Caleb's job in her life. Caleb, surprised, shields himself, attempting to make sense of that he was exclusively there for Amy as a companion, filling in while Ty was away. However, Ty's envy mists his judgment, making it difficult so that him might see reason or acknowledge Caleb's expectations as certifiable. This conflict leaves the two men feeling hurt and misconstrued, with Caleb attempting to comprehend the reason why Ty would blame him for something he could never do. The pressure influences Ty and Caleb's fellowship as well as the general environment at Heartland. Detecting the antagonism, Amy attempts to quiet Ty down and make sense of the significance of her fellowship with Caleb. She helps Ty to remember how Caleb has been there for her, helping her through troublesome times. However, rather than feeling consoled, Ty feels considerably more tangled, understanding that while Caleb's goals were great, his non-appearance left a void that another person expected to fill. Ty's desire likewise influences his relationship with Nathan. However, Nathan has never attempted to separate Ty and Amy. Ty can't resist the urge to feel undermined by the calm association Nathan imparts to her. Ty's dissatisfaction assembles, prompting an off-kilter and tense trade with Nathan. Detecting Ty's desire, Nathan attempts to console him, making sense of that his fellowship with Amy is absolutely non-romantic. Be that as it may, Ty's instabilities run profound, making it difficult for him to trust Nathan's words completely. For Ty, it's less about Nathan himself, and more about the job Nathan has played in Amy's life. A job Ty wants to have been there for. This battle leaves Ty feeling lost and scrutinizing his own value. He understands that his desire has started to drive individuals away, including Amy. The showdowns with Caleb and Nathan act as a reminder, driving Ty to stand up to the way that his weaknesses are harming the connections he holds dear. After these showdowns, Ty begins to see the effect of his activities. The envy that obfuscated his brain presently appears more clear, and he starts to comprehend that his sentiments come from more profound weaknesses, as opposed to anything Caleb or Nathan fouled up. Ty perceives that his non-appearance left a hole in Amy's life, a hole others normally filled, not to supplant him, however, to help her. This acknowledgement presents to him a feeling of modesty and lament for how he dealt with the circumstance. Ty starts to comprehend that his desire wasn't about Caleb or Nathan by any means. It was about his own battle to track down his place again inside his family and at Heartland. In a snapshot of self-reflection, that's what Ty understands to remake his relationship with Amy and recover the closeness they once shared. He wants to defy his frailties transparently and truly. Keeping these sentiments contained has simply prompted errors and harmed, and he doesn't believe that his feelings should harm his connections any further. With a restored feeling of direction, Ty chooses to have a genuine discussion with Amy. He plunks down with her, conceding his desire and making sense of the apprehensions he's been wrestling with since his return. He focuses on his sensations of relocation and that it's been so difficult to watch others fill the job he believed was altogether his. Amy, thusly, tunes in with understanding. What's more, as Ty shares his heart, another degree of genuineness and weakness arises between them. Amy consoles Ty that while Caleb and Nathan have been steady companions, nobody might at any point supplant him in her life. For Amy, Ty is indispensable, and his return has brought a feeling of completeness that no fellowship might at any point coordinate. She values Caleb and Nathan, however clarifies that her adoration and obligation to Ty are resolute. This discussion presents to Ty a feeling of harmony, permitting him to relinquish his envy and spotlight on reconstructing the association that has forever been special between them. Through this snapshot of weakness, Ty understands that recovering his place in Amy's life doesn't mean eradicating the job others played during his non-appearance. Rather, it's tied in with tracking down better approaches to develop together, tolerating that their relationship has advanced and can turn out to be considerably more grounded. Ty feels a recharged feeling of direction, understanding that his process isn't tied in with rivaling Caleb or Nathan. It's tied in with reconnecting with Amy on a more profound level and reinforcing his bond with his loved ones. This freshly discovered lucidity permits Ty to embrace his part in Amy's existence with certainty, realizing that their adoration can endure any test. This conversation marks a turning point, not only for Ty and Amy, but also for his relationships with Caleb and Nathan. Ty apologizes to them, acknowledging that his jealousy had clouded his perspective. Both men accept his apology, understanding that his outburst came from a place of insecurity rather than mistrust. With this resolution, Ty feels ready to fully embrace his life at Heartland once again, unburdened by the fear of being replaced. Instead, he feels grateful for the support Caleb and Nathan provided, and he's finally able to move forward with a heart free from doubt. In the end, Ty's journey through jealousy and insecurity serves as a testament to his growth as a person and as a partner to Amy. Through struggles, confrontations, and heartfelt conversations, Ty realizes that love and trust are built on vulnerability and understanding. He learns that being open about his emotions, even the difficult ones, is essential for the strength of his relationship with Amy. This chapter of Ty's life has allowed him to shed the burdens of the past, and he emerges with a deeper understanding of himself and the people who stood by Amy's side in his absence. As he moves forward, Ty feels more grateful than ever for the friendships that Caleb and Nathan have offered, not only to Amy, but to him as well. He now understands that Heartland is more than just a place. It's a family of people who support each other through life's ups and downs. The initial jealousy he felt has transformed into respect and appreciation for the role Caleb and Nathan played in keeping Amy strong. Rather than seeing them as threats, he now views them as valued friends who helped hold the family together in his absence. Ty's journey serves as a reminder that relationships evolve and grow, and the most meaningful connections can endure even the toughest challenges. As he and Amy look toward the future, they do so with a renewed commitment to each other, grounded in honesty and trust. Ty is no longer haunted by the time he missed or the friendships that formed during his absence. Instead, he is empowered by the love and support surrounding him at Heartland. His journey has come full circle, bringing him back to the realization that family isn't just about being present, it's about showing up with an open heart, ready to embrace both the past and the future. As Ty stands with Amy, a renewed sense of belonging fills the air. What he's gained isn't just a stronger relationship, but a deeper understanding of what it means to love and be loved. Every struggle, every joy they've shared becomes the stepping stone to a future that feels unbreakable. In the end, Ty's journey isn't just a chapter in their story. It's a reminder that family isn't just where you come from. It's who stands beside you through it all. And for Ty, that makes Heartland feel more like home than ever.